Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Not one, but two. $2 tables. Oh my gosh. This is like completely amazing. This is unbelievable, the amount of cool stuff that was in this store. And there were two of them, and it's Jacksonville, Florida. This is the one in East Jacksonville. There are 3 stores in Jacksonville. This is the one in East Jacksonville, the one closest to the Atlantic Ocean. And these $2 tables were just chock full of amazing craft supplies and amazing deals on amazing craft supplies. It's important to understand that not everything on the dollar table is actually a dollar. Some of the items that are posted on the dollar table, displayed on the dollar table, they're not a dollar, but oh my gosh, there was so much really cool stuff. This for $1.49. Look at all that beautiful different ribbons, specifically made for wedding cards or matrimony cards, things like that. I mean, that's the idea behind them, but they don't have to be used that way. They can be used any other way. And this store had so much ribbon. Oh my goodness gracious, there was so much ribbon in this store. And not all, I'm not going to say that. Most of the ribbon was $1 a roll. There were some that were marked other prices, like I found one for $1.49, I found one for $1.99, but the greatest majority of this ribbon was $1. We do have a Facebook group that goes along with this, and the link is in the description. And either in that Facebook group or during one of my live streams, because I live stream every Friday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and they're fun. They're an awful lot of fun, but somebody said that it might not be that great a deal on the ribbon because it's 3 yards per roll, and 3 yards for $1 might not be that great. I still think it's a pretty good deal for me because I do card making with it, and that roll right there was like 150 feet for $1. So it depends on what you're using it for and whether or not you feel it's a good value for you. For me, it's good value. If it's not for you, then bypass it, because there's a whole lot of other really, really good stuff in this store. I don't know how many feet there was of that curling ribbon, and that's not the only color of curling ribbon that this store had. That's one of the things that's starting to become more of the norm in the Ollies, is that they're having a greater variety of each particular item, instead of having all one color of one item, and then once you've bought that, you don't want any more of that particular item because you don't have variety. Now they're starting to actually have a lot of variety in the items that they have. And these thank you cards are so cute and so cool. Oh, no, wait, no, these are the password notebooks. So these are little notebooks that you put your password in if you want to. They were cute. They'd be also really cute if you were to put a little paper cover over them, maybe with some chipboard, and make it into a little purse notebook thing. It doesn't have to be used for passwords. Just a cute little notebook, and there were 2 in that pack for $1. So I thought that was really cool. And here's another one of those colors of that curling ribbon that I was talking about. And this was a beautiful, it doesn't come out as well in the video, but in person, it was a beautiful kind of champagne, kind of rose gold color. Oh my gosh, it was just so pretty. And I saw this, and I only saw the one, and I did buy this one. But the reason that I left it in my video is because there may be others in there. I didn't look at absolutely every roll. Usually, if I buy the only one or the only ones that are available in a store, I won't include it in my video because I don't want people to show up at the store looking for that particular item, and I bought the last one. But that one I left in, even though I didn't see any others, because it was a roll of ribbon that is quite possibly somewhere else in the store. These bows are so cute. They are so fun. That would be such a cute bow on anybody's present. I mean, absolutely anybody would think that that was just, I would hope, would think that that's just a beautiful little fun bow to have on there. They'd had all these beautiful pink ribbons, and they were $1 a roll, and they had this beautiful ribbon. This is far more navy blue. I don't know why it doesn't look as colorful as blue in the video as it did in real life, but it's a nice navy blue. And I try to point out when the video doesn't look the same as it did in real life, like that champagne curling ribbon and that navy blue ribbon. I don't know if these bags were actually $1, but I put them up there anyway. This Heidi swap item, oh my gosh, those little rings sit around the stamp, so you can sit there and date stamp things, and you can have that little ring around it. And these were the thank you cards that I thought the other ones were. These thank you cards, in all honesty, would be amazing to cannibalize for other cards, because you could take a lot of the information and a lot of the embellishments that are on those cards and use them in other forms of card making, and that's one of my things that, I like to leave places as clean as I found it, or cleaner. I don't like when people go into these stores, and this is me personally, this is not you, this is not me telling you what to do, but me personally, I would rather leave a place as clean as, or even cleaner than I found it, than mess things up and make it work for other people. I don't think that's very fair. So here you got some of the ribbon that was not $1. And I looked at several different rolls of this beautiful burlap and lace ribbon. Oh, it was so beautiful. And I couldn't find a single roll of this where the price tag was not sitting on top of the length of the roll of the ribbons. I don't know how long that was, but it was beautiful. And for $1.99, and seeing as how it was one of the higher end brands, it was probably 12 feet or maybe even 15 feet, but I can't tell you for sure because I couldn't find one where the price tag wasn't sitting over it, and I don't know why I didn't go back and unpeel a little bit of a price tag off to find out, but I didn't. So sorry about that. That's something I should have done and didn't. They did have the Cricut pads. These are so cool, but they do not fit in the Cricut Joy. I found that out because I tried to use them in there, and these are little acetate sheets from Project Life that are just beautiful. I'm going to come back to that stencil again later, so I'm not worried about that. And look at the beautiful different not safety pins, what am I trying to say? Paper clips that they had, and some of those in those little tins, those were really cool. And they have quilling paper. Now, I have been in this store before, and the quilling paper was there the last time I was there, but they had a lot more the last time I was there than they had this time, so a lot of it has been sold. This scissor vinyl is showing up in all of the Ollies now. I haven't been in an Ollie's in the last 3 or 4 weeks that didn't have this 3-roll scissor vinyl, but still 3 rolls of scissor vinyl, which somebody who used to work at Joann's and is a member of the Chatty Crafty Guild mentioned that is a really good price for that because they used to sell it at Joann's for even more for just 1 roll, and the fact that you're getting 3 of them for $8 is just an amazing price. And she said it was really good vinyl, so that's something to think about. This is a really cool little kit. If you want to try getting into Fimo, but you don't want to invest a whole lot of money in it, that gives you the opportunity to play around with some small pieces of Fimo and see if Fimo is something you want to do without investing a whole lot of money in it. It gives you a couple of different colors for a really good price. The cookie cutters are the cutest thing, and this store had so much more paint than I'm showing you right here. This is just the paint that was on the dollar table. They had so much more paint, and some kinds of paint that I haven't really seen very often. And look at this! This is the first time I've ever seen it, and the only store I've ever seen this in. I did see some of the big, larger diameter ones in a big box that was sold at one of the other stores. And if you go back and look through a couple of my more recent Shop With Me videos, you can see that. But that was 10 yards of a really nice diameter cording that could be used for so many things for $1, a dime a yard. I mean, oh my goodness gracious, that is just a great price. I couldn't believe it. They did have these other items for clay. And look at this, mini perler beads. They only had pink, but this is name brand mini perler, and it was $1. Oh my gosh, what a great price for those. I was shocked when I saw those, and I can't keep my voiceover, or I can't keep my audio that I get in the store because they play music and I'll get a copyright strike if I try to keep the audio. But I was so impressed by that I was talking to my husband about how wonderful a deal that was. And I wish I could have left that in, but I would have definitely gotten a copyright strike from the music that they play in the Ollies. These tissue packages were $1 each, and they're beautiful. It's not the best way to buy tissue at Ollie's, though. If you can find the 20-page multi-pack that's like 2 feet by 2 feet, that is also $1. So it's not the best way to buy tissue, but it is a great way to buy specific colors if that's what you're looking for. This thread organizer is so cool because it's got these little divots in the top of it that match up with the feet on the bottom. So you could store these stacked one on top of the other, and they don't get knocked over. They wouldn't get knocked over really easily because they stack so well on top of each other because they're form fit to do that. I thought that was such a neat idea. This glue was $1. It was marked $1 on the package, so you're not really getting it any cheaper than it would have been from wherever they got it from. But it's it's a decent amount of glue, and this is a much better amount of glue in the bottles than the other craft glue that they've been selling for $1 as well. The other craft glue was clear, but they did have a clear version of that, and I did it again. I totally did it again. I meant to pick up those rainbow ones, some of those rainbow ones for my crafting collection, and I totally forgot to throw them in the cart. Oh well, it's something that I do. That's something that I do a lot. I sit there, and if you go back through my videos, you'll see that there are several times that I've gone, doggone it, gosh darn it, I forgot to pick that up again, dang it. And they had this beautiful, I've seen the pink and white polka dot with a lot, but I've never seen the green and white polka dot. They had a lot more crepe paper stuff on an end cap that I'll show you soon. And this is beautiful, beautiful, pale pink, gorgeous glitter paper. So very beautiful. And I didn't see any glitter in the bottom of the package, so I don't think it was coming off. And this is a gorgeous color of glitter paper. But on these, they're marked $2.99. That is not the correct price. They really are 25 cents a sheet. So if you buy any of these from this particular store, make sure that you keep it off separately so that you can let the cashier know that they have to fix the price because they are marked wrong. And the manager even said that they were marked wrong, but they haven't fixed it yet. And that's the last time I was in there a couple months ago was when I found out that they were indeed marked wrong. They still have some of these really cool Halloween sets, these Heidi Swap Lightboard Halloween sets for $3, and there's a whole bunch of different pieces in there. That would be so cool. I realize it's not the Halloween season, but so cool. More of those little pink bows, and then I used to say all the time science fair project when I saw these letters, but I can't really say that anymore because if you haven't done your science fair project by now, it's not getting done for this school year. I mean, let's be honest, science fair projects were due before the end of the first semester. So, and this is beautiful. I bought some of these. Oh my gosh, it is so beautiful. This is like 2 inches wide and like 3 yards long, and it's a tape. So, and it's beautiful. And I think I'm going to try using this with my Cricut Joy and see if I can do anything with it and see if I can get it to come off. I don't know if it will or not, but I'm going to see if I can get it to cut properly. They had these cool little beautiful, really sturdy mailing envelopes. And these little ones, and I say little, I mean, they're not that small, but they are smaller than the other sizes that they sold. But these little ones were 79 cents and the larger ones were $1.79. So you get a 2-pack either way, but these large ones were really nice sized and they're so cute. I mean, they've got little sayings on them to make them just adorable and cute and wonderful. And this Ollie's, I was still flabbergasted by so many things that were on the dollar table. And these items right here, these resin dyes, those are usually $1.99 in the other stores that I've seen them in. So to find those for $1 was a really good price. I bought some of these stickers the last time that I was in here, so they've had those for a while. They had several different color sets of these resin dyes and these resin colorants as well. So that was something to look for because if you do resin, I'm not a resin person, and I'm not going to gatekeep. I'm not going to sit there and think to myself, oh, well, I don't do resin, so I'm not going to show anybody resin. No, I show everybody who watches my channel everything that I find in the Ollies. I don't gatekeep on these craft supplies. I usually don't show other items in the Ollies, but every now and then I'll find something that I'll show. These were on the craft table, not the craft table. These were on the dollar table, and, well, it is the craft table as well. They were 99 cents, and the first thing my husband said was they didn't have a red one from The Office, from the guy from Office Space. And that was one of the things that was one of the movies that he was. Anyway, I digress. This pink ribbon is beautiful, and I actually found 3 different styles of it. They had one that had the scalloped edges on it, and they had a thin version, and they had a thicker version, or, you know, a narrow version and a not as narrow version. And I'm holding all 3 of them there together if you want to pause it and see the difference in the widths of those ribbons. Oh, they were so beautiful. I do love all those little pink ribbons. And there was definitely a time that I would have picked some of these up as a happy for one of my relatives, but yeah, not anymore. Anyway, not going into that, they had other really cool stuff in here, and it was so cool to see all these neat items, and some of these items I've never seen before. Now, this is glittery ribbon, but this is a color that I haven't seen before. I've seen it in green, and I saw it in some other color, but that copper color was so beautiful. And there's a bigger box of these later, but this is 3 notebooks that are plain paper on the inside that you can stick inside journals, and they're just absolutely the perfect size to make into a junk journal. And I tried to pick some up because they had several of them, but when I picked them up, I thought they were $1, and when I got up to the register, I found out that they were $3, and I didn't think that was good value for money for me. For you, go for it if that's something that you want. And look at these gorgeous die cut things. Oh my goodness gracious. And of course I threw a set in my cart because they were just so cool. And they had these really pretty stickers, and these right here had some dimension to them. These were definitely not just flat stickers. These were definitely puffy stickers, and they were beautiful. And then very soon I'm going to show another set of them that are also with that same kind of dimension from Sticko, from another brand of them, and they were just the most adorable little things. The dragonflies were really cute. I have picked up some of those the last time I was in the store, so they've had them for a while, but they still had a few left. I will say that the last time I was in the store, they had a lot more of those little dragonflies than they have now, so that's another thing that's starting to dwindle down because people are buying them. That little bucket that I picked up and set right back down, that is a little moss mix-in for resin, which, I mean, you don't have to use it in resin. If you have anything that you want to decorate with moss, like if you do miniatures or if you do doll houses, that would be a really cool way to use that. And it was a really good quantity for $1. $1. Oh my gosh. I just can't get over the number of dollar items that are on this table. It is so cool. I mean, so many different items from so many different styles of craft, so many different things that you can do with these. I mean, this covers junk journal people. This covers people who do paper craft. This covers fiber art people. There's so many different things. Wreath makers. Oh my gosh, so many different people could get some craft supplies from this store. And the prices are so good right now. And the stock just doesn't keep coming. I mean, we've been doing these Ollie's Haul videos for months now, and the stock just doesn't keep coming. I mean, just doesn't stop coming. I said it wrong. I said it wrong. The stock just doesn't stop coming because I'm still finding new things each time I go into an Ollie's, and I go into an Ollie's at least once a week, and I can't get over the new stuff like this set of stencils. I did not realize this the first time I saw them, which is why I said I'd get back to them. There's actually 3 different stencils in that package for $1. 33 cents a stencil is an amazing price, and it was a nice variety of things. And then they have these little journals that you can use that embroidery floss that's in there, and they give you a little plastic needle as well. And you can sit there and you can make the cover into whatever you want it to be, as long as you can make the pattern out of the holes that they give you. And in one of my lives, I actually opened up one of those and we looked at it together. And I don't remember which live it was. It was a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. But when I go live on Friday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I do something crafting, and a lot of times I'm doing things absolutely new. The one that I did a couple weeks ago, I was using the Mink toner ink, absolutely new. The one that I did on Friday is I was trying a technique, a new hack that somebody had sent me for using the Mink toner ink, and so it wasn't as wasteful. And we spent the entire hour, we being myself and the members of the guild that joined in on the live stream, and we spent the entire time trying to figure out how to make the hack work. So it's not like you see a hack with no explanation of it. No, we sat there and we worked and we problem solved and we tried to figure out how to get it to work. And at the end, we did figure out something that was pretty decent. But it's a really fun way to actually see the real time what goes on, the real time behind the scenes trial and error and learning curve of using these new craft items. One of my very first lives on my channel is called Noob with a Mink, and that was when the very first time that I started to use the Mink laminator to do foiling, and that one's funny. Oh my gosh, is that one funny. I broke it. I literally broke my Mink almost the same instant that I took it out of the box, but it still works. I mean, I broke it cosmetically. I didn't break it mechanically, but it still works. But it's that. My live streams tend to be that way, where we just test products and we learn how to do things together, and it's a very interactive live stream. And if you're interested in something like that, I would love to see you in the live streams on Friday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They're always Friday nights. I always go live 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my channel. They're fun. This entire end cap, remember when I saw that one box of cray paper? This entire end cap was items that were $1, and they have these crinkly paper. So if you do any sort of packaging where you ship out items that you want to be packaged beautifully to the people who receive it, because you're like an Etsy shop, or you're selling through other like Maker's Market or any of the other ones, you can get that crinkle paper, that crinkle filler for $1 a bag, which is a really good price for that. And they have all these little different cray paper colors, and they had the crinkle paper in so many different colors. And look at these cute little look at the cute little booties on the bow. Oh my gosh, the cute little booties, the cute little feetsies. Oh, they're so cute. I thought that was just the most adorable little bow. I really did. I mean, obviously it's for like a baby shower or something like that, but it was still just so adorably cute. But this is all the different supplies. This is the variety that they had in these crepe papers and all those other items on that shelf. And it was all a dollar a piece. These color changing markers for $4. I highlighted those because I thought they were interesting. Now, I have looked at them before, but you know, if this is one of your first time to one of my videos, you haven't seen it in any of my other videos. So I try to highlight things so that you can see them and so that you know what's going on. Now, something that I missed about this particular package is that the diameter of the tips are different. This is a variety pack, and I noticed it while I was editing for the voiceover so that I could get this video up. I noticed that it's a variety pack. It's got 5 different diameters of the tips of those, and that is such a cool thing to have. Now, I did pick up a package of those because I do have a Cricut Joy, and no, they don't fit directly into the Cricut Joy, but there are things that you can do to help it work out, including buying an adapter for it. So we're going to try that out at some point in time. I don't know exactly when. The art journaling glue variety pack was so cool. And one of my live streams, and it even says it's the Ultra Blend H2O Arteza markers. One of my live streams tested those, and those Arteza markers are just a joy to use. Oh my goodness, they are so good. They do exactly what you expect them to do, and it is beautiful. And like everything else, there's a learning curve to using them. But once you get over that learning curve, oh my goodness gracious, those markers are fantastic. And $3 for a whole bunch of blendable water-based Ultra Blend H2O markers is what they're called. That's not a bad price at all. In fact, that's a really good price. This pegboard wall had a lot of other really interesting things. These devotional highlighters are really cool. Get those in a Bible and give them to somebody who's gone through confirmation or doing First Communion, anything like that. That would be such a really meaningful and poignant gift for someone. And, you know, I think it would be just a beautiful thing to give. That's my opinion. You know, you do you. But, yeah, I think it would be a beautiful and meaningful and really treasured gift. These Sharpie markers are starting to show up. I remember the first time I saw them, I was shocked by them. But they're starting to show up more and more. But it's a white and a black Sharpie marker, which is name brand Sharpie. So, you know, I've had good experience with Sharpie. I think they're really nice markers. This is gel, not gel. This is glue. This is glitter glue in pen form. And I thought that was a really cool thing. I didn't get it because it was too close to markers, and I'm trying hard. I'm trying really, really hard not to feed my marker frenzy because I love markers. I am such a marker hoarder. Oh my goodness. I love anything marker. And I try very hard to limit any type of marker that I buy because I have so many of them already. So many. Oh my gosh. So many markers. Anyway, I found another whole peg of them. So there were many, many more of those. And on this pegboard, I saw something that I haven't seen in an Ollie's in a very long time. And that is this double-sided tape. If I remember correctly, it's 21 feet of double-sided tape for 69 cents. Now, you notice I cleared that peg, but there are still more there. I left the other 2 pegs, I left all of them there because I just needed a few. I just grabbed a few. I didn't need to take all of them, and I left them there. So if that's something you're looking for, this is that East Jacksonville store. They had several of them, but I haven't seen double-sided tape in an Ollie's since the New Smyrna Beach Ollie's opened, since their soft grand opening. And I went there for the soft grand opening, and they had Recollections double-sided tape. And when I went back, it was gone. Absolutely gone. And I'm just assuming that people, you know, watched my videos or showed up on their own and just bought it because $1 for that was a really good price. 69 cents for the ones at this Ollie's. Fantastic price. Absolutely fantastic price. So I think we're about done with the pegboards here. And if I remember correctly, we're going on to other items, but it gets a little choppy here, and I apologize for that because there were several people trying to look down the aisle, and I didn't want to interfere with the commerce. I didn't want to interfere with people that were trying to shop just to do the video, so it gets a little choppy here for a bit because I went to another aisle, and then I came back, and so I apologize for that, but like I said, I didn't want to interfere with other people that were trying to shop. And this is so cool because this has a little magnetic roller that you can see me roll right there, and it picks up, it's made to pick up paper clips, and so you can sit there and feed them out to you. So I've seen a lot of people with junk journals that are wrapping paper clips in paper to make them more presentable and more pretty, and so that would be a really cool way to just dispense the paper clips. Oh, that's wrong. I need to fix that. Well, it's going to be fixed by the time you see it. It said $5.99 the first time, but now it's going to say $6.99 when you see it. But I just saw that. I realized that I had that priced wrong, and I forgot to go back and fix it before I did the voiceover. So now you've got a whole little voiceover that makes absolutely no sense, because by the time you see this, I will have fixed that. Oops, sorry. And I loved this. I love this little bag. It is so cute. I love what it says. It is just adorable. I'm not going to say it out loud because we all know what it says. But 99 cents for that little reusable tote. And it wasn't a big one. I mean, that's a nice little one that you could use for, just even as a purse if you wanted to. And this for $1 I thought was beautiful, because that big flower and those other items could be cut out and used as fussy cut items on card crafting and in memory books and in scrapbooking and things like that. Oh my goodness gracious. And for $1 to get so much of that, it was so pretty. I don't know how much this was. It was glitter on one side and it was solid print paper on the other, but 3 beautiful colors that I saw there. Those were the only ones that I saw in the entire store. So I don't know if they have them somewhere else, because maybe they have gift bags somewhere else. I go down the craft aisles. I don't really wander around in the store because, I have the mental health issues that I have. If you've watched my channel before, you know that I have mental health issues. If you haven't, I have several mental health issues that make it difficult for me to do this, one of which being that I'm autistic. And so walking up and down the aisles randomly is not something that is comfortable for me to do. So if they have these things in other areas, I don't know about them. That's why I stick to the craft items, because I love showing people what these Ollies are selling for crafts and what new finds these Ollies have in their craft departments. And it's just so much fun for me to share all of this with you. And I'm so happy and I'm so pleased and I'm so grateful and I'm so humbled by the fact that you are choosing to sit here and watch these videos after I've done this shopping and listen to me ramble on about what I've done in my voiceovers. And it really is very humbling to me that you have chosen to spend that time with me. And I really hope you're getting value for the time that you've invested in this, and I really, truly, deeply appreciate you very, very much. So thank you very, very much. These are glare screens. They're anti-glare screens for computers. Absolutely wonderful for kids now, because students are staring at computer screens a lot now, and those anti-glare screens would be really nice for someone to have that, and it might help with eye strain and things like that, because the eye strain is real. And I noticed that even before I stopped teaching, computers were starting to become very, very prevalent, and every student had their own, and there were a lot of kids that started complaining about eye strain. So an anti-glare screen might be something usable, and that was a really good price for those. And they had it in the 16-inch size and in the 13-inch size. This is a really cool set, because with those 3 colors, yellow, cyan, and magenta, you can make just about any other pigment ink that you want to. And I picked up 2 of these because this looks like it is a glaze that makes whatever paint you mix it in all shiny and shimmery and wonderful. So I want to try that out. Unfortunately, I did not get a really clear view of the price tag on this. I think it said 99 cents, and they only had that one color, but chalk paint for 99 cents. Oh my gosh, what a great price. Like I said, this store had so much better paint than that one little bit that was on the dollar table. I've never seen I take that back. I have seen the spin pour ones, but the colors that they had a bigger variety of colors in this store, and I think it is such a cool thing. I don't do pour paint. I don't do acrylic painting that way. I do have acrylic paints and I do use them, but I don't use them in a pour painting fashion. But if you do pour painting, this is an amazing store to get those particular items. And look at these cute little bees. This kit right here said that it had enough materials to make 5 different creations, and I'm wondering if 2 bees counts as one creation, because the box front had the 2 bees on it. And this paper is starting to show up in stores. I did not see any of this, that package of cardstock. I didn't see any of that. And the first 5 months of looking in Ollie's and finding these items, and now they're starting to show up in every store. So it's obvious that this liquidation is not done. There are still new things showing up in the Ollie's. There are still new things being sent out to the stores, and these are Florida stores. And I've understood from the comments, because I'm getting the impression that for some reason the Florida stores are getting a lot more than any of the other Ollie's stores in any of the other states, because people keep coming into the chats and people keep coming into the comments, and even on Facebook, in the Facebook group, the people will say that what's showing up in their store doesn't match what we're finding in the Florida stores. So I just want you to let you know what's out there, and maybe I really, really hope that these items will start showing up in your stores if they haven't already. And I just think it would be nice if the liquidation was a little more equitable, but I'm more than happy to show you what's there. And yeah, I do know that somebody said that they have a relative who lives in Florida and they watch my videos and then tell that relative which store to go to and what to buy. So if you've got a situation like that, go for it. I mean, that's a great way to do it. Sorry, I rambled again. Back to the video. This store had so much stuff. There were so many things. The craft department in this store is just giant. And it's really cool to see all these different items and to be able to share them with you. That little sketchbook that I just showed you really quickly, it's actually got lines on one side and blank paper on the other, so you can sketch something and then write about it, which I think is a wonderful idea for a therapy journal. Excuse me, so that you can sketch out what you're feeling in art form, and then discuss it in poetry or prose on the same page, so that the image and the explanation is right next to each other. I think that is such a beautiful idea and such an amazing thing to do. If I weren't so traumatized by writing things down, I think that would be something wonderful to do, but I can't write things down because anyway, I'm not going to get into it, but I was traumatized by anything that was written down. These are the wood pieces that they have in this store, and oh my goodness gracious, this store had a nice selection of them. They have one that's shiplap. They have this beautiful one right here that is just a nice cedar looking plank. They have this one that's got the diagonal lines on it. They had another one that had straight lines on it. You can see it right there just to the right, where the planks were done horizontally, as opposed to this one where they're done diagonally. So I wanted to show you these items because I thought they were really pretty, and they would be so useful in so many different crafts and things like that. So yeah, and then they had this, and I don't understand the pricing of this because most of the time the canvas is really, really affordable. But this one right here, I don't know if it's because it came in before the liquidation started, because I don't see this. I saw this in this store, in this particular store, the last time I was in there, and they're still there, and I haven't seen that colored canvas in any other Ollies that I've been in. And I've been in a lot of Ollies. I've been in almost every Ollie's in Florida, and I've been in 7 or 8 of the Ollies in Georgia. Those are the Ollies that I've been to. This one still had Astro Designs paper, and the Astro Designs paper is getting harder and harder to come by in the Ollies. So I was pleasantly surprised to see that this store still had some of it. So if that's something that you're looking for, there you go. This journal. Oh my gosh, I love this. It is dated like a date reminder book or a date planner, but that's not the purpose of this, because if you look at the cover of it, it says to record and remember and reflect. So it is literally a journal put out there so that you can, log things that happened on a day-to-day basis, and not for the purpose of remembering where you have to be when, but for the purpose of remembering what you've done and giving you the opportunity to reflect on it. I thought that was beautiful. Oh my goodness gracious, I thought that was beautiful. They had this one the last time I was there. They didn't have that other one the last time I was there, but they did have this one, and I love the avocados. Wouldn't that make just the cutest recipe book to write down some of family recipes and put them in that little avocado book and to pass them out to people? I think that would be just a beautiful thing. And then they had this one's Ravenclaw. I'm not big on the Harry Potter things. I do not like the things that J.K. Rowling is saying about the Pride community, but that's me. I'm not going to sit there and say, well, I'm never going to show any Harry Potter stuff because it's not something that I'm interested in. I'm going to still show it to you. And when I did the whole house thing, I was Ravenclaw, but I didn't buy one because I'm not really fond of the way J.K. Rowling is talking about and spending her money towards the negative things towards the Pride community. This is an entire kit. If you want to try acrylic painting and pour painting, this gives you the opportunity to try it in one fell swoop where you don't have to invest in a whole bunch of different things, and it gives you the opportunity to try it out. And I thought that was a really cool kit to have around. And look at the cute little pens. Oh my goodness gracious. I will say that the Colonial store in Orlando had cuter pens for cheaper, but if you can't get to the Colonial store in Orlando, then this is a good place to get those cute little pens. And then they had these Crayola stackers, and they had two different brands of them. They had these that I think this was Trolls, and then I think they also had a My Little Ponies one that I'm going to show you in just a moment, because I'm going to go up to the top and show it to you. I've never seen these little raccoon masks before. They were so cute. I thought they were great. And then this is the other one that they had, and I can't see what it is, but it's a different one. And this is at the very end of the store. We went to the checkout and I found another Kaboom mold, and this is the wine bottle one. I'm just showing it to be thorough. This is why I go to Jacksonville. This is one of the reasons that I love Jacksonville. It's the closest Whataburger to our house. Cheers and happy crafting!